Hello and welcome. It's Rod with POW Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap. Today's a recap for Wednesday, June 23rd, and I hope you are all well today. In today's video, as the main topic of the day, we're going to be discussing Hello Pal International Inc. So that is ticker symbol HP on the CSE. Huge move today, up over 50% from the lows of yesterday. So congrats to the bulls. But we'll discuss why the stock was up so much today and what I expect into the next couple of days and weeks. But starting to see blockchain names heat up again. And we've been very bearish on blockchain names on this channel for a while now. And we'll go through why we're starting to change our tune and why we could start to see a major reversal long term here on blockchain names. So before we jump in, we'll look through some news and events like we normally do. Then we'll go over the crypto space and the broader market. But I'll put some timestamps for your convenience in the description below. But make sure to smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it. S&P 500 rises for the third day as comeback rally continues, and we continue the V-shaped recovery. And SEC Chair Gary Gensler is taking a deeper look into ESG investigating issues in terms of climate. So there's all these different concerns right now. They've basically voiced the same concerns about Bitcoin. Elon Musk and Tesla stopped accepting Bitcoin because of ESG concerns. So this is going to be something we're going to be monitoring into 2022. I think 2022 is going to be the year of climate issues and crackdown in terms of those ESG concerns. So it's going to be a catalyst, a bear catalyst that I'm going to be watching extremely closely, especially with Bitcoin, as we know that proof of work and mining uses a ton of energy. So what to expect from Microsoft's next version of Windows. So there's an event tomorrow. So Windows 11 was leaked last week, and this comes after Microsoft said that there was not going to be any more Windows. Windows 10 was the end all be all, and they were just going to update that. But here they are going back on that, already pitching Windows 11 here not that long after, a couple years after Windows 10 was rolled out. So moving on to the crypto space, we are trying to bounce here on the 15-minute, but most names in 15-minute downtrends. So if we look at the 4-hour chart, Bitcoin is consolidating on the 4-hour, but still holding the support here at $31,708. And then after that, 28,800. But at this point, we're just going to anticipate a daily lower high because anything under 41,322 would give us that lower high. So based on the size of that pullback, that's all we're going to expect. But at this point, we bounced enough now to negate the odds of a daily bear flag. So that is a point in favor of the bulls, but going to be watching that 4-hour chart as the most important. Also, just want to highlight here real quick, Hive from the low of yesterday up about 18%, just under 18%. So congrats to those who bought the dip yesterday. Again, starting to see blockchain names heat up. And again, we've been very bearish on them on this channel for a while now, but we'll go over why we're starting to change our tune and see some reversals shaping up. So taking a look at the S&P 500, we did have a nasty close there with a sell-off, and Bitcoin sold off as well. So seeing that correlation pick up. But essentially financial sector and healthcare sector is what brought the S&P 500 down here the most into the end of the day. We are bouncing a little bit after hours, and it's a possibility of a daily inside bar tomorrow. But as long as we hold this higher low pattern each candle, then the daily bounce continues. So the low of the day today at 422.51 is going to be key tomorrow. If we lose that, then we start daily consolidation, and the daily bounce is over at that point, and we'll scout a higher low compared to the low here at 414.70. But again, V-shaped recovery, shouldn't be surprised and should be expected in 2021 and 2020, as that's been the theme. But again, we had a lack of resistance. We had that gap there that got filled. We had a lack of resistance up until the all-time highs at 425.46, and we've been saying wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw a V-shaped recovery right back to all-time highs, and that looks like what's in the cards. But again, going to be watching the low of the day tomorrow to continue that. So the dollar still remains extremely bullish as well, currently at the high of the day. And if we take a look at the daily time frame, you can say we didn't really consolidate from down here at 89. So at this point, it's a possible daily bull flag on the dollar. I would consider that a daily bull flag at this point. And if we did confirm that daily bull flag, then the target would be roughly $93. So going to be keeping a close eye on the dollar as well, as if we see more strength in the dollar, that's likely going to imply more downside and daily lower highs being set on the S&P 500 and a lot of our other names. IWM likely due for some consolidation after an upper wick today. So again, we'll be watching the lows as we still yet to break the low of the previous daily candle now for 4 trading days in a row. Same with QQQ. QQQ still in a daily uptrend though, and remains one of our most bullish sectors. Broke out to a new higher high today. And this is what I said yesterday. A lot of people were looking to go short. I said, don't fight those bulls, right? At this point, we're still in a daily uptrend, And personally, I wouldn't be shorting this. We did have declining bull volume, which isn't the end of the world. And same with SPY as well, declining bull volume here on this way up. But we don't need bull volume to go up, but we definitely need bear volume to go down. So SMH, so a little bit weaker than QQQ again, but seeing a little bit of an upper wick there as well. So going to be monitoring the low of the day. Pretty much the theme across the board. Oil had an upper wick today as well, but hit a high of 74.22. So we're going to be watching 75 psychological and then resistance up at 76.88. But it's been a while since we lost EMA 12 here, so that's going to be important as well on oil. And on the weekly time frame, we haven't consolidated since down here at 61.58. So just remain cautious is all I have to say about oil. In terms of the metals, silver was bouncing on the daily, but had a pretty nasty pullback and upper wick. Still got about 40 minutes left in the day. Same with gold, but gold, it's a potential daily bear flag. So we're going to want to hold the low here at 1761, and silver as well. Going to want to hold the low here at 25.55, key support. Biotech sector. So we had a daily inside bar that broke bullish, but didn't get much follow through, closing within that range. So we'll watch for a tightening range and inside bar in tomorrow. XLE closing near the low, but holding EMA 12. So a little bit of a bearish reversal candle here and could be due for consolidation tomorrow. So we'll be looking for the low of 54.48 to hold tomorrow. Financial sector got slammed into the end of the day as well after filling the gap. And again, we're just expecting daily lower highs here. Still got a ways to go though before we test EMA 12 up at 36.61. And the healthcare sector, so we were weak into the end of the day as well. So we got high, close to yesterday's high at 125.18. We hit 125.13. So essentially double top, and here we are down after hours as well, breaking the low of yesterday. So we had the low at 124.40. We're currently at 124.33. So we're seeing that consolidation. We do have EMA 12 there at 124.26, but already starting to see healthcare consolidate on the daily. So that's going to increase the odds. The more names that start consolidating on their daily time frame, the more likelihood that we're going to see that reign true in the S&P 500 and some of our individual tickers as well. So moving on to the HP chart and some individual names on the day today. So hello, pal, from the low of yesterday. I mentioned to private members yesterday that I was starting to scale into Hive and HP after being extremely bearish on them. Pretty much ever since Hive reported its last earnings, I've been bearish on them, back in the beginning of the year in February, I believe it was. So we did have that daily oversold. The RSI was almost in the teens. So we were at about 20 there on the daily RSI. So we were extremely oversold on the daily, and we had a lack of resistance up until $1 psychological. And we were quite a ways away from EMA 12 there at 87 cents as well. So I was buying the dip, and we'll look at some other indicators on some other support levels that I was looking at. But essentially just from that low to even $1, we had about 100% of upside just to about $1 psychological, and then real daily resistance at 109. So one of those higher risk, higher rewards. It was a bit of a falling knife, but waiting for daily oversold conditions. These were the type of names where you didn't want to enter unless it was, there was some huge development or, a nice support entry or just an extreme oversold condition based on how weak we have been, right? And if we look at the weekly descending triangle, so that's why I was bearish. So we were respecting this descending triangle, and generally these types of patterns break bearish. So that's exactly what happened as per technical classical analysis theory. And if we look at some of our other names, Hive, for example, had a similar pattern where we had that descending triangle that broke bearish. If we look at Riot had it as well. If we look at DMGI, it had it as well. So we were extremely bearish. We knew Bitcoin had some energy concerns. We saw Bitcoin with monthly consolidation, and there's just absolutely no reason to be bullish on blockchain names. But now that we've seen all of those names fall out of their descending triangles, now I'm starting to get interested, and this is why I'm starting to flip bullish, because I do think that the crypto space has somewhat hit a bottom for now. And as long as we hold that $28,000 level, that is going to be just fine, right? It's all bulls. And in my opinion, the bull market is still fully intact. And if we take a look at the monthly chart on HP, we knew that we were getting extended. We hadn't started monthly consolidation in about 6 months. It was going on 6 months. So once we lost the low here of 113, that was the signal to get out. As soon as we started monthly consolidation and we lost 113, if you would have just exited there, you would have saved yourself another 50% of downside. So not even if you didn't just exit at the top, you know, no one's going to time the top. You know, it would have been down 50% from that top. But even if you entered on the loss of that low at 113, you would have saved yourself another 50%. So again, we can't time the top, but we can look at the most likely scenario. And in this case, we had that weekly descending triangle, we had monthly consolidation, and we had EMA 12 down at 70 and EMA 26 at 45. I've been saying to members that I wouldn't be surprised if HP and Hive dropped, you know, to $2, and HP could even drop to about 50 cents. And here we are, we hit a low of 52 cents. So didn't take very long. It was actually about a month in the making. And if we take a look at the weekly chart, we also had, you know, some signals here back. Well, I guess it was in the end of May. So the tail end of May, we closed below the 10-week moving average. The MACD and stochastic flipped bearish as well. And we were also quite a ways away from our weekly support on the 50 weekly moving average. And that was at 60 cents. So I was targeting 75 cents to 60 cents, but we went even further than that. We lost the 50, but here we are trying to close above it. So a close above 60 cents this week would be bullish in my opinion. We also lost the 50-day moving average. So once we lost the 10-week moving average, we lost the 50-day moving average. Then we lost the 100 and we tested the 200 down at 67 cents, which we also lost. So again, we were looking at these weekly moving averages. We were looking at the 50 weekly moving average and then the 100 down at 33. And as we know, nothing goes straight up in a straight line forever. And we were heavily due for a pullback, and these blockchain names, after running hundreds and hundreds of percent, it's not uncommon to see them drop 70 or 80%. So I'd like to see us, we closed over the 200-day moving average today at 67. So that is good. We closed at 69. So that's a point in favor of the bulls, but based on the size of this pullback, we're just going to anticipate a daily lower high at some point, and then we'll look to change the daily trend. And on the weekly VWAP, we lost the weekly VWAP at 85 cents as well. So we had a ton of red flags on the HP chart. And again, if you were just targeting that 60 cent and 50 cent psychological, that would have been a great area. And like I said, I've been saying to members now for a while that I wouldn't be surprised in the least if HP fell to 50 cents. And here we are just about a month later, and it happened. So again, I took a position in HP, full disclosure, and a position in Hive as well. So starting to change my tune and get bullish on these names again. And a lot of that has to do with the bottom potentially being set on Bitcoin as well. So taking a look at the bull and bear list, we had MVMD, IMV, and OPK on the bear list. On the bull list, we had CLOV, NEXE, and Tesla. So Tesla got the daily bounce underway and continued that daily bounce today. And we're currently in a daily uptrend, and we have a lack of resistance really until 690 and 700 psychological. So we had 650 psychological, which was acting as resistance, but we closed above it, and here we are up another percent here or so after hours at 662. So congrats to the bulls there. DDD didn't break the high of yesterday, but daily inside bar and a potential for another daily inside bar tomorrow, another name that we're extremely bullish on in our group. I'm up over 100% now on this position from my entry at $19 and still holding strong. This is a name that I'm going to be holding for the long term. So thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap, and we'll see you a little bit later on for an MJ sector review. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel on the way out. I would appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next video.